roll right into it then.
I'm stretching, buddy.
You're literally rolling.
Do you ever see a lion stretch before it takes down a gazelle?
No. Shoot. All right. Well, welcome back to Fives Around. You're surrounded by your 5 best friends: Cam,
Hey.
Chris, Tony,
Yay.
Zach,
Hola.
and myself, Austin. And we're just here going to do another Vomlet today. In the news, what's going on in our personal lives. Again, if you like a specific topic-centered podcast, check out our wild breadth of library of podcasts there. We've got lots
Big
of
old
topics.
backlog.
A profila.
We also have a ton of funny topics coming up here in the short future. So stay tuned. If you're new here, hit that subscribe. I promise you're going to want us back as your 5 best friends. So jumping into it, personal news, anything in the news? I know Cam's got a lot.
I got a lot. So much.
You want to start?
Yeah, start us off.
Do you want me to start, or is this like the quick checkout line at the store? Like, you have less items, you go first?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Does
No.
anyone have less items?
I have one item,
I hope not all of us have the same amount of items as you do.
but I'm not a line jumper.
Dude,
Please, sir, after you.
yeah, let's hear your news, Chris.
Lisa is opening a preschool.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I thought you were
buddy.
going somewhere else with that. I was about to, my heart was racing a little bit. I thought you were about to announce she was pregnant.
I wish.
I was like, sorry,
opening a
not to
preschool
put a
for
downer on that.
multiple
But
I hadn't
children.
thought about that for a while. Thanks,
I'm
Zach.
sorry.
Hey,
Sorry.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna go cry tonight.
Oh.
No,
Stupid.
but we've been kind of keeping it hush hush. She's talked about maybe doing it, and we've finally put the plans together, and we've been busting our butts off and getting it ready. And
Where is she?
She's a rock star.
Is she doing this out of your house or?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The basement.
I've been trying to get us to rent out the basement for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the idea of somebody living in my house or whatever. At the same time, I was like, yeah, but we've got this space that's just not making any money or profit, and it's not doing us. It's just store stuff. She's like, I think I'm going to do preschool. I was like, yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Do it.
Let's do it. What
Do
do
it.
you need help with? And she kind of just grabbed the reins and started getting everything together. And, you know, we just put the funds together and started buying the things she needed and been building furniture. And she's got 3 classes. Originally, she was going to do 2. They got filled up super fast, and she's got a 3rd class, and there's only a couple spots left in the 3rd class. So.
Right.
That's
on.
awesome.
That's awesome.
What
Yeah,
did
it's
she,
awesome.
What does she have to do to get certified? Do you have to get certified to
No.
run a preschool?
No, if she has over a certain amount of kids, yeah.
Okay.
And she was only going to do like a smaller class. She's done preschool before. She's really experienced
Yeah.
with it. And she was going to do a smaller class, and she kept getting people wanting more and more and more and saying, please open a spot. So she actually extended how many kids she was taking in her classes. And
Good for her.
Yeah,
That's
you got to get
awesome.
board certified. You got to know your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s.
yeah.
I'm out.
colors.
She's already, dude, she's already got her lesson plan set up. She's already got.
I thought you were gonna be like, she kills it at the ABCs. She knows her numbers up to 100.
She has a little problem with blue and green, but we're figuring that one out.
Hey, you know, it's genetic. It's genetic.
She's just a little colorblind, all right? It's no fault of her own.
I mean,
There's glasses for that.
she'll never be on the bomb squad, but she could definitely teach
Or she would be on the bomb squad for one time.
one time.
One time.
One
And then it's not her problem anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But think of all the lives she saved.
Or didn't.
Depends on who was around. I mean,
See, children, this is how you...
what's this preschool teaching? How to defuse a bomb.
You're supposed to be teaching how to diffuse a situation. How did we get here?
Oh, wrong website.
But she's never done the
I didn't
business.
finish the chapter.
She's never done the business side of things. She's got her contract ready. She actually sent out a notice saying, "Hey, by the way, we will be saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. If
Dang straight.
you don't want your child, there will be no exceptions. And if you don't want your child, this isn't the preschool for you." So she's like taking a stand. With this sort of thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
For her.
Yeah,
I like that.
Where's she placed in the kitty box?
she's not doing that.
I mean, the chokey?
Here's the thing.
The chokey.
The rule will be
She can have a dunce hat.
they have to go outside with the dog, and they have to clean up after themselves.
You have to wear a collar.
That'll stop it real quick. Any kid, come on. Mm-hmm. You tell them to pee in the litter.
They're like, I need to wipe my butt. You're like, you see how the dog's scooting across the grass?
we have a
Legs
spot
in the
for
air.
that. But yeah. it's awesome. I'm super excited for her.
That's awesome, man.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
very cool.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
I
She's just
wish
got
we
this
could.
glow back.
I wish we could put Kelsey in with her. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
That's a long drive.
Lisa's not
It
going
is.
to cut you a deal, so
Okay, never mind.
Oh, was that what?
He's looking for free.
Nobody said anything about money.
Oh, you have to pay for this?
Wait, you're getting paid?
That's awesome.
We've got some people who want to be in there, and
love
the
that.
thing is, you have to be potty trained. Like, she's not doing diapers. She's taking
Yeah.
it serious. You're
Yep.
going to be learning, getting you ready for kindergarten and grade school. So it's going to be awesome.
So what is her minimum age?
yeah, I
3?
was going to say.
3? Yeah,
3 as long as they're potty trained.
as long as they're potty trained. Yep.
Right on. That's
awesome.
cool.
Yep.
Dope.
I was telling you earlier, I love that she kind of kept the name in your business family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Can you say it?
It's elevated something. Elevated
doesn't know what it
Explorers is
is.
what it is. Elevated
Nice.
Explorers preschool. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I love her logo and everything. That's cute.
It's cute.
Is it
Cute.
your logo
Little
with
bit
some
of gum
kids on
came
it?
out. Just
It's
a-
got the mountains with the kids facing the mountains.
I
She's
like it.
very streamlined, you know. Work's been done already. Add a couple
Just
caricatures,
add a couple
call
kids
it a
to
day.
it, we're good.
Couple silhouettes and you're
Oh, it's
done.
very original. I
You
love
can't
it.
Google that.
Copyright if it's already in the family.
Bro, speaking of, side note, Midjourney, any of you have used it? Midjourney AI?
No.
Awesome.
Uh-uh.
Surprised you
Never heard
haven't
of it.
used
I
it.
haven't even heard of it.
Bro, it is the coolest thing in the freaking world. It's like ChatGPT, but for images.
Oh.
What?
So you literally will just you'll feed it. You'll
I've-
feed it some words,
Hold on. I'm going to
Yeah,
do picture in
and
picture this.
it'll.
Show us.
I've read it or gone through a couple of things and like
Hey, wait. You went full screen.
Sorry, I have this. Oh, did I? But
I
we're
don't know.
still,
Is that full screen?
It was, but we're still going. Okay,
All right. All
everyone.
right.
they've
Everyone
had this
Daddy
thing
chill.
do like what they think people look like in every state.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
it
can do
pulls up a picture of what
Oh, I've
so
seen
much.
AI
several of
thinks it
these.
looks like in every
I
Discord.
thought
state.
I had
That's not
Discord
the
on
right
here.
Can you do like
Oh, I guess I
theme
don't have Discord.
Lord of the Rings?
Is it on Discord? What
It
is
is on Discord,
Do
so
what?
it's wild. So
Something with Lord
I
of
think
the
I
Rings.
saw one. If this is the same thing, I saw one where it made the Mona Lisa if she was real today.
yes,
She was hot.
Didn't you send that the other? Someone sent it in the group thing,
She was hot.
and it was way good. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. I get this long out. So.
Now, is there limitations on what this thing can do?
Probably.
dang.
I don't think I've seen any like NSFW stuff.
You knew exactly
as
where
of
you're going
yet.
with that. All I had to do is look at your face.
Stop it. You stop it off.
Hey,
You
a
stop it.
man's got to know his limitations, right?
What does
I mean, there's
Jessica
nothing-
Rabbit look like?
There's nothing wrong with knowing your limits, you know?
If Jessica Rabbit was real.
If Jessica Rabbit.
was real with no clothes.
Okay,
That's
let's,
awesome.
let's
awesome.
okay, let's
Okay,
do
the
this.
Midjourney
Okay?
bot. It's
Okay.
a Discord.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, so you have to be part of the Discord, and then you're literally just typing in here in the Discord. So
Hey, shout out to our own personal Discord that we never get on.
yeah,
TFLB5 baby.
Yeah, sorry
but hey,
about
we have
that.
a lot of peeps in there that are.
I jump on like once every like 3 months, 4
Dude,
months.
I haven't jumped on it.
And
in a
people
while.
are still posting to it.
Oh
so.
yeah, people love us, man.
Where
It's
the devil-
it's
Oh, here we go,
astounding,
here we go.
really. It really
Oh, I don't
is.
get it.
So as you can see, things are already like there's tons of people in here, so random things are being generated constantly. But
Oh,
we
so wait,
can
this
put in
is
our
a
own.
public thing?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Does it-
you put it in my
Does it do it immediately? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It takes
put
like
put Joe
30 seconds
Biden
to
in a
minute.
bikini top.
Oh,
I dare you.
no.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
I was kidding. I was kidding. Are you really doing it?
Put
Do it.
Joe Biden
Oh
in a bikini.
my god.
Oh, okay.
Banned. Oh,
Oh, here we go. Here's the rules. I haven't seen this yet. Thanks, Austin.
Okay.
Leave it to Austin to have a banned one right at the get-go.
Any image up to PG-13 rating involving fiction, fantasy, mythology, real images that can be seen as respectful or lighthearted parodies.
These are allowed.
Those are allowed, yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespectful, hate speech, Nobody knows what that is.
Nudity or
Hey,
Hey,
consent
none of
order.
what I requested has any of that.
Now just try Donald Trump in a bikini.
Yeah, watch that goes through.
Then we'll know who owns this thing.
Bikini realistic.
We're gonna get
No.
banned.
Okay, good.
Oh no!
Appeal. Appeal. No, just kidding.
Appeal.
I'm kidding. No, don't. I'm kidding. Don't get banned. All right.
You probably already got me banned.
Okay, let's do a real
Okay,
thing.
something just random, super goofy, random, whatever.
Lord of the Rings.
Anything.
Frodo Baggins riding a dolphin in the sea of
Wonder.
wonder.
What's the Sea of
The
Wonder?
Cave of
We'll
Wonders.
find out.
Pro tip.
Sea in a Sea of Wonder.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we'll see what it does.
Winder.
Winder?
Winder Dairy.
Winder.
We're along for the ride.
Okay, so
Is it
here it
doing
starts. Yeah, so you can see it says waiting to start. So it's basically we sent the request to the AI,
Okay.
and it's processing one after another. So
How long does it take?
like 30 seconds
There.
to a minute. So here it started, and it'll give you 4 images. I've been playing with this all day today, actually.
I'm curious who it chooses as Frodo Baggins. If it makes up its own or if it's Elijah Wood.
I bet it'll be Elisha. I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm liking where this
31%?
is-
Come on. No, one of it was the cartoon.
Yeah, I was
back in
gonna
the
say, or
80s.
is it
yeah.
the cartoon back in the 80s?
70s or
Oh, it is
70s.
the cartoon.
It always looks better. It looks blurry, and then all of a sudden it looks good. Like, and it can make some like impressively good looking.
Can this
stuff.
make our thumbnails?
Probably?
Get rid of my
I mean,
work.
it has a hard time with. It can't do words for anything.
Yeah, neither can Adobe's version.
It just can't. I
What's
don't get it.
Adobe's Firefly?
What?
93%.
Why does he have a wand? He's not Harry Potter.
Bro. Yes, look
There
at
you
that.
go. There you go. Look at
Dude,
that.
those dolphins look
Wow.
Look,
prehistoric.
it kind of looks like his kid.
Right?
What the heck?
Dude, what's with the buck-toothed dolphin
Dang.
there?
Look at his hand on the
I was
that-
just gonna say his hand too.
Dude, the hands are always funky.
He didn't have a wand.
It's a
This looks
walking
like
stick.
That looks like a dinosaur dolphin.
Yeah, Dino Dolphin.
Oh, that one's my favorite so far.
That one's dope.
Yeah.
I'd watch
Oh,
that.
there you go. Ooh, that one's got some teeth right there. Yeah.
There you go. That's
Like, can you believe we
sweet.
just
All right.
we just thought
All right.
this picture into existence?
Something with the rock.
Oh, Dwayne the
It
Rock
has to
Johnson.
The Rock
be
taking a
PG-13.
stare.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson wearing a bikini top.
I wonder if it'd do that one where he's not a political figure.
Probably not. I bet you bikini top is the.
That's probably
Wearing a
But it's
chicken suit.
PG-13.
I doubt it, man.
Dumb.
Climbing a
Skyscraper.
red-headed. Oh,
What would Dwayne the Rock Johnson look like if he didn't take steroids?
He doesn't take steroids.
Oh,
No.
that's not a bad idea. We'll do a skinny one.
I was gonna say something highly inappropriate.
No, but this thing is freaking cool.
This is interesting.
And it there's other websites too that'll give you suggestions on how to talk to the AI, like how to prompt it.
Yeah.
In a
Look at
better
this!
way.
Oh my gosh,
Twin?
you're gonna have stuff for your spank bank for years.
Oh my gosh.
Saving that one for later.
Hey, can I get the link to
The
this?
eyes in that first one.
Look at the eyes in the bottom one. That one's actually pretty dang close.
Wow.
Look, he's standing on the building. he's giant. I like that he's taking a selfie.
He's a little more black in that one.
Here what is he?
Wow, look at how
he's
big
walking
his
up some
arms are.
stairs. Look at that. He's staring down the skyscraper.
That actually looks like a rock.
Mountain.
It's like a mountain.
The rock staring down
A
rock.
Oh, I just got an idea.
Uh-oh. What are we doing?
I'm going to go Dwayne the Rock climbing a rock, carrying rocks.
As a rock.
Made of rocks.
Eating a rock.
I did see pictures of like that, Dwayne Johnson.
I
eating
think I
rocks.
saw that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Drink.
Dwayne the Rock made of rocks, climbing a rock, carrying rocks.
All right. I like this guy's one up above it though. Stink bug that is hungry
For a pair in Alaska.
for a pair in Alaska.
Well, I'm telling.
Interesting.
Like if you go back a little bit, look at this big mountain of gold bars.
Okay.
That stink bug keeps coming up. Oh, he's almost done.
Can you see the ones that get rejected?
No.
Oh. Because I would love to see what people are searching that gets denied.
Find Call of Duty character holding a gun. It's like an anime looking kid. It's that same guy. Like you'll see people.
You know, the ones
What
I
are all
love.
these ones of the spheres?
Circular Vector HUD by Ash Thorpe. So you can also reference like artists, and it'll try to make it in the form of
It's
the
like,
artist.
who was it that shared if Harry Potter was directed by Guy Ritchie?
I did.
That was
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
That
Like
was
that kind of
fantastic.
stuff is
So
what's cool to
I think
me.
that's like a combination of. So weird.
Oh, he's gonna want
I
the links.
hate it. I hate it so much. Look at that. Okay, he's got rocks on ropes.
Who's that guy?
It honestly looks like he's making love to rocks.
That's the Rock from Wish. Is
Oh my
that?
God,
Who's that guy?
that's one of my favorites.
oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh, dude, see this thing's fun.
Bro is going to pound.
So you have to do it. Jessica Rabbit in real life. I just got to see.
Oh, you're,
Can't
you're
get it out of your
venturing down
brain.
a dark road, my friend. You're venturing
Real-
down a very
Did that
dangerous
say
road.
real
In real like.
You said real like.
We'll see what it does.
Mid-journey.
What is this? Dystopia Balenciaga model?
While this one's going, me personally, my personal news is you're looking at it.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks, I've been working on this studio. It's finally been put together. I think it looks really profesh.
It looks good.
It looks awesome, man.
It looks so good.
So pumped.
Feels good, looks good. The light, the ambiance, it's wonderful. Ambiance.
So this is just proof in the pudding that all of you guys supporting us, literally your money goes back into the channel. So if you
Right.
guys are loving this podcast and you're donating to us, shout out to all you, because this stuff is what
Yep.
you guys make this possible, what you're seeing. So
We appreciate it.
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's awesome.
Zach, what's your news?
My news?
Yeah.
Now that your hair.
Now,
Oh,
Tony,
wait,
calm
hold on,
down,
hold
Tony.
on.
Calm down,
Hold
Tony.
on. Holy.
I didn't think I liked redheads.
That bottom left
Wow,
one
look at
kind of
that.
looks like Jessica Chastain almost.
Look at that right, bottom right. What's going on with her head?
Hey, hold on.
Jessica Chastain.
Hold on. Hold on. What? That shoulder does not look like it's bending correctly.
No. That she looks like she's like even the dress she's in. She looks like she's twisted up.
Yeah. That's Exorcist.
Wait, this other one's got the appropriate amount of fingers, looks like.
Does it? Does it have six?
Thumb, one,
Look, you can hit
two,
open in
three.
browser.
Wait, there's something weird right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll just do that. Because you can save any of these pictures.
Good
Tony,
to know.
Tony, you need me to save this? You need me to save this picture for you, Tony?
He was like, "What did we search?"
I
again?
mean, just for the audience, how do you save them? Like,
asking for a friend.
Double click, just save images.
Look, it's going to his downloads.
Don't worry, I'll send it to you later. But that's
The
that's
good
so
thing-
cool.
if that's the case,
The good
let's see
thing-
Jasmine too.
The good thing about digital is there's no water damage.
Jasmine in real life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got to do Jasmine in real
Yep.
life now too.
We have that. There's a live action, isn't there?
There is,
Okay.
but she's not the same.
Not at all.
Agreed.
Not even close.
Cartoon. Disney. Jasmine.
We'll see what happens.
This is awesome, man.
That's where this is freaking great. Like
We're just gonna sit here the whole podcast.
We've
and
lost
do
half
this.
of our audience.
no,
No,
way.
they're
a lot-
just as one. You know, they want to know these things.
They do. They're like, well, I'm curious.
This is the edge, the bleeding edge of technology, right here.
Here, let's do some for the ladies tuning in. What are some?
We did The Rock.
No, what's a goofy cartoon character?
No, not a goofy. We got who?
Johnny Bravo.
Elmer Fudd.
No, who's an
That's Chewy
attractive?
Wabbit.
Who's an attractive
Ryan Gosling.
Cartoon.
Oh, Aladdin.
Is he?
I don't know.
Prince Charming.
Oh no.
I
mean, he's
you
kinda
got to
your-
look for that fringe, right? Like the
Hercules.
What's his name from Shrek? The
Shrek.
Lord Farquaad.
he would be funny. But no, Prince Charming. I guess it is Prince
yeah,
Charming,
Prince
but
Charming.
Prince Charming from
Oh.
Shrek.
There you go, Tony.
Hey.
Well, hey. Hi.
What were you gonna say?
She's
I was
not
gonna say,
real.
well, hello.
Yeah, dude, these are all fake.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, they should have casted her for the live action.
Which
Not wrong.
her? I say bottom right.
Bottom right.
For sure.
Bottom left.
I don't know.
Bottom left.
They're all very pretty.
I'd say either of the
Top right.
Top right isn't Arab, like
That's
Middle
probably
Eastern?
The most.
yeah,
Eastern.
Middle Eastern. Thank you.
I think the bottom left would be the most.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Top right looks like who's the one from High School Musical?
Oh
Vanessa Hudgens.
Ah, yeah,
Vanessa
Vanessa
Hudgens,
Hudgens.
I
yeah.
can see that. I can see
Oh, what
that.
are they doing? What's going on here?
Dude, look at how much he wrote.
I know. During World War II, looking inside the cave, big mountain of gold bars. And that's the thing is like you can write a novel like this and it'll come up with it. Like earlier, someone wrote this one. It was like literally like this long. It was huge. It was like a story.
Oh.
Jeez.
And it came up with these 4 pictures, like cartoony kind of Disney-esque pictures.
I'm getting
of a dad
involved.
and his daughter like go like hiking into this like beautiful sunset. It was cool.
I like how it says at the end, rich details, mega details, and look at the details of the picture. Like,
Yeah.
Style raw. Like
Is that
I
The
love,
Rock? Just kidding.
I love that you can even kick out the style that you want it in. So like they did the style of raw. That's pretty cool.
You should
Yeah.
do like
Like I said, you can do something like
if
Are those
Hercules
stickers?
was played by Ryan Gosling.
Oh my gosh, we could get our logo done. Oh wait, no,
Yes.
it does work. It does terrible with words. I
yes,
forgot.
but you can take it into Photoshop and mess with that.
What is that?
So you can
What's
change the
going
words
on with that picture?
yourselves. Oh, you know
They
what
wanna
this
see what they
person
look
probably
like with
did?
tattoos.
No, there's a prompt for a description. So you can say description and it'll open up your photos. You can choose a photo. The AI will then describe your photo in words.
Oh,
So you can use that as an example. Like, let's say I want to make a logo like what's on Zach's shirt. We can take a picture of Zach's shirt, feed it in here, and tell it to give me a description. It'll describe what it sees. So now I know the verbiage it wants to use to make something like that.
Got you.
So you could do like
But yeah, you
in
can
the
make
style
stickers.
of
That's freaking
Picasso
cool.
or something like
Look
that.
at those little kitty stickers. That's what I was thinking.
what?
So like who? Gandalf.
Yeah, I love that.
Wait, what are you doing?
Gandalf the Grey in the style of Picasso.
Is it 2 Is that how you spell
Yeah,
Picasso?
that's right. 100%. Gandalf the Grey in the style of
A wizard.
Picasso.
So basically, what this person did is they didn't use the prompt. They just put a picture in it. It just sends it.
hello.
Like, I've done that a few times with these. I forget to put imagine. I just type it, and the words come out, and I'm like, oh, dumb. That's silly.
That's crazy.
Sherry.
He's coming to life. Is he going to be Picasso-y? Doesn't seem
What
very
kind of work does
Picasso-y.
Picasso do?
There's all the weird, like,
Very
abstract shapes.
abstract.
I
Like
got
that-
one.
The finder button is inspired by Picasso.
Oh, okay.
I've got one.
Epic
When
battle.
this one's done, you should do who's that Flynn Rider Tangled?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Imagine Flynn Rider as a real person.
Flynn Rider from
That was for the ladies.
Tangled.
Oh, that's some good Picasso work.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. See, like you can't really watch
That's
the
more
blurry
Van
stuff.
Gogh.
I love that.
I want that as a tattoo.
Chris wants that hanging in his house.
Chris,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need this? I got you.
Dude, that's
bud.
more-
I got
hold
you,
on.
bud.
We'll get a little more creative off camera.
Who's the guy that did
Think of something.
Starry Night? Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. That's
Van
what
Gogh.
he said too.
That's
what I said.
he
That's
said.
what
I
Tony
said it.
both times.
I'm making sure I'm thinking of the
Did
right
he say
guy.
it?
Yeah,
oh, I
so-
thought you said it.
No.
But yes, you're right. Both times.
Acknowledge me.
All right.
Okay, last one. We'll see where this goes.
Flynn
Last
Rider.
one.
Because we could literally do this all night.
Yes,
Yeah.
we could. Spider-Man India. That's in the movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
See, those people
good.
No, that one did it right. They did it right. This kid did it wrong again. Bro, he's not getting the concept. Then again, nobody tells you what to do. You kind of just show up and...
They're like, I'm sharing the photo. You got to give it a prompt.
It'd be cool if you could submit a picture of yourself and then say like me as
You
a
probably could.
something.
Maybe. I
Like
don't know.
what I would
You might
look-
have to have it describe you and then use its description.
like send a
Slightly
change
Asian,
it.
slightly white.
Nobody can tell what I actually am. This is getting good.
for some reason I have
Oh.
like Spanish descent.
There we go.
There you
Look at
go,
that one.
ladies.
That one is like hyper realistic CGI.
Right?
That one looks like was it Stifler?
No. It looks like the guy who plays Cyclops in the.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, I see that too.
There you
Now
go,
that guy
ladies.
right there, that's a good looking
That's
man.
a good looking
Which-
man.
which
One on
side?
on the right.
Wow,
the one
both
on the
of them.
left looked like he's trying too hard to be Timothy Chalamet.
Who's Timothy Chalamet?
Dune.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
Is Dune good? I haven't seen it.
It's
haven't
way
seen it
good,
either.
dude.
I like it.
It's
I wanna-
way good.
Yeah.
They're doing part 2, comes out in December.
No, I need to
Dude,
see
Dune,
it.
Dune was freaking
Is it a
cool.
remake or a continuance?
It's
It's
a
parts.
remake, but it's based on a book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know
There
they
you
made
go,
the
ladies.
Dune movie from
Feast
ever.
your
No, I'm telling you,
eyes.
he totally looks
Flynn
like
Rider.
who's the goofy dude? He's in like that rock movie. Is it Runaway?
Yeah,
Sonic. He's in Sonic.
Stifler.
Stifler?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
kind of looks
yeah.
like it.
Oh,
It's like Sean William Scott's mouth,
Yes,
but then the Cyclops guy's
maybe
eyes.
that's what it is.
I think he looks
I
like
get
the
that.
guy off of Sonic.
Dude, totally.
Oh,
that's-
I
that's
think,
him.
You
That's what
nailed
I'm
it.
talking about.
Yeah.
Hey.
And he was in Jury Duty. Did you guys watch that?
No.
It's so good. You have
Was
to
he
watch
in Jury Duty?
He was.
With Pauly Shore?
No, like the
new one.
undercover movie where they tricked a guy into thinking he was actually serving jury duty, but everyone around him was a paid actor.
I haven't heard of that.
Dude, it's so good.
Wow.
Oh, it's like a legitimate thing.
Real quick, that one on the left, I just figured it out. Looks like one of the characters or one of the brothers from Prince of Persia. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no.
Prince of Egypt.
Oh, yes. Or Rodel Dorado.
I was thinking D'Artagnan.
Is it Rodel Dorado?
Rodel Dorado has the blonde-haired dude
Yeah,
in
the
the
dark
red
hair.
jacket.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the dark-haired
yeah.
dude.
Okay, yeah. You
'Cause
know what I'm talking about.
I see
I
that.
see it.
Yeah, anyway.
Gosh, I freaking love this thing, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's fun.
guys gotta do it. It's so fun.
I'm going to, yeah,
That's
great.
fun. That is cool.
Probably have some of it in our thumbnail. I don't know.
I think we should.
Jessica Rabbit. I don't know.
I got saved. If you need it, like, I got it for Tony, but if you need it too,
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Well, if it was in our thumbnail, you're ahead of the curve.
Who's Bugs Bunny's the girl?
Lola?
If Lola was a
Lola
was a
Bunny?
human.
well, now we can't just not try that.
Well, I mean, you can. I just.
all right. While he's doing that,
Zach, say your news.
Zach, you share your news, bud. This is ridiculous.
I had surgery again a couple weeks ago.
Ding!
Yeah.
Yeah, I now have a Harry Potter scar on my face.
Yeah. Sure. Can I see?
Oh, do you have stitches in still?
No.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it
I
or
don't know
not.
if you'll be able to see.
Oh, dang!
That thing's healed up fast,
rad.
though.
That
Yeah.
filled up pretty good, but I don't know.
Over here, check. Look at this
I
side.
probably leaned out of camera.
Here.
Here, wait. Let me see if I can.
Do this one.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't know if it'll
you gotta
work.
take
I
it
mean,
off?
honestly, it probably worked better straight. Yeah, you're good.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, I found another spot. And
This
had to
looks
get it
like it's
removed.
about to be one of those like furries.
Oh, no way.
One of those what?
Oh, one new message.
Let's reveal this.
One of
Wait,
those
it's
what?
not. It's not done.
Those furries, like
It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
Oh boy.
I'd be
78%. Okay, give it.
you sweat?
Give it time to work. Give it time
all right.
to work.
giving it time.
There it is.
Tony is now into furries.
bottom right looks like Margot Robbie.
That
Yep.
does look like Margot
Does- I
Robbie.
see that. Yeah, see how it's got one that's like extra
Yeah.
cartoony?
Yeah.
What is that hand? Wait a second. There's an arm down beside her, and then there's one coming across her body. Do you see that?
Oh, down there.
Right here. And then it's bending and going this way, and it seems very venous.
I mean, it's just a vein. One.
Go back up
That
to
was
the other
that's some
two.
thick veins right there.
Weird.
Like you can see like you do.
Did you guys hear that? Achievement unlocked.
Son of a-
Unlocked.
Damn it, not again.
It's funny though, like when you do look at their faces, you can see influences from like some real famous people.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The one on the right
even
looks
this-
like an actress, but I can't.
This
I wouldn't
one
be able
even
to
looks
tell you
like
who, but it looks like someone I've seen before.
a prettier version of that girl in Maleficent that plays Aurora.
Oh,
Oh, she's a Fanning.
yeah, Ella Fanning.
Elle Fanning. or
Dakota
Ella.
Fanning's little sister.
Uh-huh.
Weird. I can see that. See, that does kind of have a Fanning.
Yeah, a little bit.
Weird.
I could see it.
Weird.
Crazy.
Yeah, the internet's fun.
Like I want to see like if I was a Matrix character or something like that. That'd be funny.
Yeah, we'll try it at the end here. We'll put a picture and have it describe it, and we'll see if we can turn it into something.
Make me Aragorn.
So you had your surgery.
Yeah.
Got an awesome scar.
Got an awesome scar. Got my
Results?
cancer getting rid of again.
Results.
It's all gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
they got it all.
All of it
So-
gone.
All
Yep,
his
it's all-
brains.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good news.
So
And your CRT scans.
my CT scan.
CTR.
My CTR scan.
Your CRT, your Hellcat engine, 5.0 liter.
that all came
SRT.
back
Yeah,
negative.
that all came back negative.
So-
but that didn't do a scan of my head, and that's what concerns me more. And
So have you had an MRI?
I don't have an MRI until December.
Okay.
And so, but the CT scan came back negative of anything showing in my body, which is fantastic news, but it's like everything is happening on the right side of my face. And so,
Yeah, December seems
So-
like a long time.
Yeah.
So still no soul, according to the scan.
pretty much, I mean,
Does it not do your head, like the machine itself, or did they just not do it?
I don't know. It just, they pretty much did it
Seems
from my
weird.
shoulder down. So I don't know if that's because the scan doesn't do it or if they just didn't do it, but
Why? So why December? Why can't they do an MRI next week?
I don't know. I was just told when I signed up, and I need to talk to the doctor, but I haven't seen my doctor in like 2 months, and I won't see him again until September. Because every time I go in, I'm always seeing one of his nurse practitioners. And so I've got an appointment with him. I don't know if it's just because I go in on Mondays, and I don't know if it's just because he's been doing a lot of vacation stuff and summer things. I don't know, but the next one it's a nurse practitioner. He's actually really cool. I've talked with him a lot, and I'm actually going to ask him like why the MRI, because when I signed up, not when I signed up for all this, I didn't sign up for anything. But when I went through all this, they told me
So just think back. Somebody was like, "Hey, will you sign this paper right here? Just right
just
here."
here, please.
Hey, get you.
They told me I would have a CT scan every 6 months and an MRI every year. So
Well, all I'm saying is when we signed, like when Lucas was born, got diagnosed with face syndrome, all that stuff, like we had an MRI literally 2 weeks.
yeah, and I mean I'm sure I could request one, but it's also at the discretion of the doctor, and I gotta just because
So kick him in the.
They all have to
nuts.
be approved through him. He has to send in the work for
They
it.
call it a practice for a reason. He's practicing still. Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah. No, that's why I said it's a conversation I did have with him to understand why.
Right.
But
Well,
We're
don't
just
wait till
concerned.
September, man.
no, I'm going to
Press
talk
it.
with him next time.
Hell yeah.
Didn't you say that was in September?
No, I see his other nurse practitioner. This guy, this is like his number 2 guy. The one I saw this Tuesday was his like number 4 person. So
Do they give you a list?
I don't know.
Talk to number one.
I've just never seen
They have
her
a
before.
ranking,
They're
like
weird like
soldiers.
that.
They have
Yeah.
rankings.
I know
on
that
there.
now.
He's a 3-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
No, for real. There's this
Yeah,
weird
it's-
hierarchy,
it is.
and nobody explains it to you.
Right.
You just
You just kind
somehow
of
you feel it and you know it. And so
You're like, okay, you look up to this person.
Uh-huh.
This guy hates his
so they're
job,
higher than
so-
you. Okay, oh, you look up to that person. Okay,
Yeah.
you're higher than them.
So that's the 2
Like,
main
I saw
guys
you
I've
put
been
a broom
seeing.
in that closet before you came and talked to me. I'm worried.
Yeah, shouldn't there be someone else doing that?
So no, next time I go, I've got some questions and I'll ask around. But
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing is with these doctors and how they're treating me and everything, I'm not worried. I don't think they're putting me in a wrong direction. They've saved my life now a couple of times, so
Yeah.
Nice.
I just
Nice.
ask questions.
Yeah.
I'll ask questions.
And you're doing
next
your
time.
treatments.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You still have your port?
Yeah, smack that thing today. That hurt like nobody's business.
You had to smack it?
No, I was pulling a case out of the truck and it fell and went bam right into my chest. Like
Told you it was inconvenient.
Right in the port.
the sharp side, right in the port. And I was like, oh, it took me a minute. I had to back up and
There's Zach's shirt, right in the port.
That's awesome.
Oh, I got one more thing to say real quick.
Yeah.
Alden got his 3rd stripe for jiu-jitsu. He gets 2 more and he gets a gray belt.
Atta
How
boy.
far
Nice.
is that from the black one?
A long way.
Wait, is this only the second belt?
Yeah.
Third.
This is a second belt.
It's the
Gray's second.
Okay. That's
So
what
it's
was
white,
third for some
gray.
reason.
I think
White,
yellow
gray.
was really low too.
Yeah.
It depends on your.
Bro, black is
Martial
also
arts.
a time dedication.
Yeah.
Isn't it like 20
I-
years for black? Something like
No, bro.
I remember
They
when
Children can pick those up.
I took
Black
karate.
Well,
belts?
they have children.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's not a huge thing, but I'm saying some black belts carry more weight than other black belts.
Yes.
Well, there's kids version, and then there's adult versions, and then there's also like merit. You start earning on merit, different degrees of black. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
that. 50 Shades of
it's
Black.
like we've talked about it before. It's like some of those videos we've seen where you got this little girl black belt and she's like, "This is how you take down an assailant with a gun." And she's like, "First, go like this," and then it switches to another guy and he like grabs a doll and throws it against the wall.
Have you seen the one that Family Guy does about that?
No.
So Peter's in the circle with the girl or whatever, and she's like, they're like saying how she has a black belt or whatever, and Peter's only got like a purple belt or whatever. And
Oh yeah.
she comes up and does her moves, and all of a sudden Peter just punches her in the face and lays her out. And he goes, "You might have a black belt, but I'm bigger than you."
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
How's Alden's bullying been going?
Well, he's out of school, so we.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey,
yeah.
you know why your kids have been home so much?
Well,
The damn dog, though. I mean, that tries to take all of his treats
Son of a-
we're just wondering, are you still bullying him?
All the time.
Yeah, you
No,
practicing with
it's
him.
Alden bullying him.
Yeah, there we go. It's all the
Chris
bullying
just
you.
stands on the side of the house in like a white t-shirt and jeans.
That
He's got
dude
like,
can- he
got like
can miss.
a pack rolled up in his sleeve and a toothpick.
Boy,
Hey,
go
kid.
over and do
Okay.
this.
What you doing here, kid?
We practice his moves. He wants to practice them on me. He's like, "Okay, do this, this, and this." I was like, "Oh, you can go a little harder than that." He's like, "Dad, I can really hurt you." I was like, "No, go ahead. You can do it." I was like, "Okay, stop." Like, it hurts.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he'll do it. I'm like, I'm stronger. You know, I can. But he gets you in a position to where you can't do anything.
Your
and it's
arm's
like,
not supposed to
feels
bend
like your
that way.
joint's gonna blow up.
I'm gonna
Jeez.
go inside and take some collagen. I'll be back.
Snorting that stuff.
Oh, it's true.
But yeah, I'm proud of
man.
him. He's doing good. Sticking
That's
to it.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, too, from earlier, how we were talking about color blindness and stuff. Real quick, we think Katie's colorblind.
Oh, really?
Really?
False.
That's like super rare.
What do you mean false?
Women can't get color.
Yeah, women. That's like.
Are you sure?
What about
sure they
equal
can't.
rights?
Only men. Only men.
That's a fact?
Yeah, fact.
Wow.
Only men can get colorblind.
What?
Dude, it's the weirdest
in
thing
the
because we
chromosome.
were
She's playing you, bro.
we were testing her out because we had plates on the counter, and one was like a lime green, and she goes, "No, that is just normal green." I'm like, "No, it's a lime green, like it's the lighter color green. It's lime." She goes, "No, it's a normal green."
I feel like that's a
Jamie. Oh, Jamie.
And so, but then
fact-check it.
you know the little Caesars pizza boxes. It's orange. She goes, "That's
It's red.
That's a normal red, like a dark red." And I put up my watch and I put it right next to it, and I said, "Orange, red." And she goes, "They're the same color, Dad." And I'm like, "No, they are not."
So that's yellow, right? The yellow's in it or something?
I don't know.
Because if she thinks it's dark green, but it's a lime green, and she thinks it's red and not orange.
What does consensus say?
It's saying that they can. So how females inherit color blindness How you inherit color blindness depends on whether the genes responsible for it are on the sex chromosomes X and Y, the autosomes, non-sex related chromosomes, and whether it expressed as a dominant or recessive.
Interesting.
Let's see
It's
here.
getting really
False.
It's
science.
going to get
Yeah,
super
I
deep into there.
don't
Can
know what
females
you
have
just said.
autosomal? A woman can have autosomal dominant color blindness if they inherit the gene from their either parent. Blue-yellow color blindness is passed on via an autosomal dominance pattern that is not sex-linked. It can be passed to the offspring by either genetic
So
parent.
that would make sense then. If the yellow, if she's not
In case
seeing
of
that.
blue-yellow color vision, people
Well,
have a
but
50-50
generally-
chance to inherit the condition from a parent who
Listen.
has it.
I'm not an expert.
Well, wouldn't one of you have to have it?
From
I
the
don't
way
know.
that
Either you
this
or
is sounding,
Kate-
it
yeah.
sounds like, yeah, you'd have to.
Risk factors. You are more likely to be colorblind if someone in your family is colorblind. You have an eye disease. You take medication with color blindness as a side effect.
What?
You
That
have a
can
brain
happen.
or nervous system disease like multiple sclerosis. You are white.
Hold on, what? You are white,
Canceled!
sir.
I'll just throw my privilege card and say, no, I'm not.
I feel like I read that like Charles Barkley reading the teleprompter saying, I am a dummy. Like I read it so fast. I didn't even-
You are white. Sucks for you.
What the heck?
Wait, so in all seriousness, people of other color then are less likely to have color blindness?
Maybe.
Apparently so.
Yes, dude.
Maybe.
I mean, there are like
Jeez.
African Americans can get sickle cell anemia, which is specific to black individuals.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it would.
Does that mean where they start
So,
turning
wait.
white?
No, that's. Oh my gosh.
Like what Michael Jackson
Maybe just
had.
forget the word for it. Yeah, it's a different word.
So,
Okay.
like when people joke,
Vitiligo.
when they're being blamed for being racist, they're like, "No, man, I'm not racist. I'm colorblind." Like now you can like,
We're all colorblind. We see everyone equal.
"Oh, that's awesome."
Who runs this website? Very Well Health. This is a scam.
They're testing it. Look at the main picture, though.
Hey, she can't be colorblind. Wait, or is that a he?
Whatever he decides to be.
Whatever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I sense some effery going on here.
This is one of the most ridiculous websites I've ever seen
All
in my
right,
life.
do we really want to take anything that this website has to say?
Oh man.
Good eye.
We cannot write this stuff.
I don't even want to leave the site because I want to keep it as proof for something later. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so in my research here, it just says color blindness affects an individual's ability to distinguish differences in color. It largely
Yeah,
affects men. More on that below. Ophthalmologists determine that as much as 10% of the male population has diminished color vision, but women can have it as well. Only about 1 in 200. So
You
that's
should go buy a lottery
literally-
ticket.
That's like 0.5% versus 10% of the male population.
You know, when I was younger, I used to think color blindness was literally that you like saw the absence of color. Like you saw everything in black and whites and grays and stuff.
Oh, I see that.
It's funny
See,
is that did
Have
you
you
ever
ever-
watch Jag? Anyone?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I loved Jag,
Yeah.
and at the beginning of the show, they always talk about the main character. He's like, diagnosed with night blindness, he can no longer fly. And I was like, night blindness? I was like, I can't see at night. Do I have night blindness? Do other people see at night? Like I was so confused by it for the longest time.
Have you ever taken a colorblind test just to see?
Yeah, there's one right there.
It makes me nervous.
What do you see?
74.
Did you see? Did you
74.
say so? Okay, just make sure.
So my friend,
I saw P4.
Yeah,
at
but there's a
first.
bunch of different ones that you
Well,
take.
yeah, because there's
Oh,
different types of color blindness,
Right.
like certain colors.
Yeah.
so my friend,
Have her
growing
do
up-
those.
It's a smart idea.
Yeah, have her do those 100%. So my friend growing up was blue purple colorblind, And I always used to mess with him hard. And his brother was red yellow.
See, that's a buddy of mine. He's red yellow.
And so it's funny because when he was driving, he couldn't rely on the color of the lights.
You had to rely on the position.
Yeah,
of
he
them.
had to rely on the position of the lights. So that was always interesting to me. I'm like, what do you do when it's an arrow? Like a red, yellow, blink, like, you know.
That's true.
But the yellow one's
That's probably
blink.
why it blinks.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I used to always mess with him. I remember one year specifically for his birthday, I got him a purple shirt because he hated the color purple and he loved the color blue, but he couldn't tell the difference anyway.
How do you have an opinion on that then?
Right?
So I got him a purple shirt, and like every time he wore it, I just laugh. I'm like, yeah, got him,
Bro, that's such good. I love that blue shirt of yours. Paint his car blue.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the movie The Shadow with Alec Baldwin?
Yeah. I was just thinking about that like 10 minutes ago.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. But
Shadow
there's
Road.
like there's an older guy in it who's like a scientist who helps build this bomb and stuff, but he's colorblind with red and green. And near the end, they're trying to defuse the bomb and stuff, and he's like, he can't remember which cord to cut, and he's like, oh hell, it's always green. And she's like, wait, Dad, that's red, and he clips it, and yeah. But
Well, don't need to see that movie now. Thanks.
well, you don't know what happens.
You're right.
I'm
He
just
didn't.
kidding.
Yeah, he was
I
very
want
good
to
about
see it.
that.
That's an old movie. Look at that chest hair.
Dude, I love The Shadow.
Dude, I
Oh,
had
there it is
nightmares
again. There's
about
the
that
hair
show.
again.
What?
The knife. Had nightmares
Oh,
about the
yeah,
knife.
dude.
Yeah.
That thing was creepy.
Just yeah.
I need to watch that. Maybe I'll watch that later.
See, this is one I absolutely love it, but if they wanted to redo it with today's style and different things,
Right.
I'd be interested to see what they do. Because this came out kind of around Spawn.
His laugh.
Oh
Yeah, 94.
dude.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yep.
It's a good one.
Dick Tracy.
All right, back on the news.
Yes.
Tony, any news?
I should
Bryn's
be,
out of her sling.
Bryn's out of her sling,
Nice.
going strong.
Tell her
We
not
should
to
be
fall out of a tree again.
right. Should be signing on our house in about 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
2 weeks.
we're doing I think we've got our final walkthrough coming in about a week, and then a week after that we'll sign, and
Noise.
So when's move-in day?
we don't know for sure yet. So, but we're looking probably around the end of next week.
End
So-
of next week.
Or end of
The
so 2
following
weeks.
week, the
Yeah.
12th, around there, 11th, 12th.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you're gone. I'll be gone with you.
Oh, I think I'm going to be there too.
Can I come with you guys?
With the temperatures,
F you. No.
with the temperatures it's been lately, I'm gone,
Dude.
bro.
I've been trying to build a kid's swing set we got for Scarlett for her birthday.
Dude, it sucks
Since
outside.
her birthday on July 12th. I'm maybe a third of the way done.
I thought for sure I would have lost some weight by now with how much I've been sweating.
Hey, I've lost 3 pounds.
Attaboy.
Yep. That's
Sweat?
it. Yep.
Sweaty
pretty
bait?
much.
I think I've lost
Oh,
like 30.
I went camping up at Lava Hot Springs.
Looking good, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
I was gonna say something.
Shut up. You were?
I
No.
was. Yeah, I was.
Bro.
I definitely was.
Stop.
How much have you lost?
30.
Like 30?
Have you really?
Boy,
Nice, man.
way to go.
Couldn't even tell. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, bud.
Just
Thanks.
teasing. You look good. No, really.
You.
You do. You look
I'm
good.
excited. I didn't realize it. And then people started saying stuff. And I'm like, what? And so I looked at the scale and I was like, holy balls.
Isn't that what they say is you don't notice it on yourself? Like it's others that will notice it
Don't.
first.
Kara was doing the same thing when she had lost at one point like 15 or 20 pounds. And she like had pointed out to me, she's like, it's not working. I can't do this. Like, it's not working. And I had to show her a family picture of what she looked like and what she looks like now.
I
And
hate
she's
that.
like, holy crap. And I was
Yeah.
like, I told you.
It's wild.
Like,
Yeah. Lisa's going down that road now too.
Good.
Yeah.
So weird.
See, mine's the
Gaining
opposite.
or losing? Which road are we talking?
I just told
You know
her
how,
I can
like-
never. There's always more to love. You know.
You know how like Google Photos will like give you like memories
Uh-huh.
and stuff. I look at mine. I'm like, man, that was just 2 years ago.
Have you ever like tried to give your wife or something, like if they put on weight, and try to give them a compliment, and you're like, that's gonna be offensive if I say it, because they probably didn't realize it before.
Like, well, I don't know what.
So we were video chatting when she was gone, I was like, I say stuff before I think about it.
You? No.
Never.
So I'm
Mr.
like,
no filter.
I go, I'm like, your double chin's below your other chin. She's like, what? I was like, I'm sorry.
You don't have to use that
I
much
was like,
detail.
I know, but I was like, oh, because. Anyways, I was like, I'm sorry. I go, but no, it's a good thing. And she's like, what? I was like, I'm sorry.
Gosh, dude.
But like, because when she'd like sit in a certain position, she'd have like a double. Oh shit!
This is one of those moments where you're not thinking before you're saying.
Dude. But anyway, no, she knows. We talked about it, and I was like, no, I'm noticing. And she's like, oh, really?
What I'm trying to say.
And like she'd get up closer, like you could tell her confidence. So she knew, but like I'd never said anything about it before.
Babe, it's a lot better than the triple chin you used to have.
Yeah. But I was like, because the way she was laying like this, it was like sometimes it would like it was prominent, right? And it's not as much anymore. I was like, awesome, that's great.
Right. It's like it's a compliment.
That's what I'm
and you're
saying.
telling her how much you changed, but you're also making her aware of something you never told her, which was like, I can see your double chin when you sit like that. Hey, you know how I used to see a double chin? Now I don't see it as much. And she's like, wait, you did?
I did the same thing to Kara, so it's okay.
And I don't mean it mean. I
did the same thing. I told Kara one time, I was like, hey, get that big butt over here. And she was like, that's what I want to hear. That makes me feel sexy. And I was like, no, it's a compliment. I like it. And she's like, yeah, thanks. I have a big butt. I appreciate it.
See,
and
I feel like
no, it's like the compliment. I like. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I feel like big butt's
Get that
a little.
big butt over here.
I feel like big butt is more of a figure of speech and stuff than double
You
chin.
could have been like, I could have said fat A. I don't
Right?
know.
I could say I get that fat ass over here. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Get that double wide 15 with
Sitting on cinder blocks. Go.
next thing you know, next time she's just beep, beep, beep. Look at that dump truck.
Oh.
That dump truck carrying cellulite.
Oh.
Cellulite Sally. What is that from?
What is that, bro?
I just think of Rodney
I think it's like-
Carrington.
Oh, I think it's from Miss Congeniality.
Looks like somebody hit the bag of it with a bag of nickels.
It reminds me of the
Worst.
time when Zach chimed in. He's like, which one of you posed for this picture?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Let's not bring that up.
The thumbnail that had Jess in it, and he's
Whoa,
like,
I said let's not
he's
bring
like,
this
hey,
up.
which one of you guys posed? It looks like Austin's body. he's like, that'd be my wife.
That's awesome.
That's why I don't comment on these things anymore.
Well,
I felt
someone even said it in the comments that your one-liners that
I
you
know.
just suddenly
I
will
just
say.
do.
Like one of our,
I felt so bad though after you were like, yeah, thanks, that's my wife. And I
That
was
would be
like,
my wife.
and then you were like, I did crop it wrong. And I'm like, yeah, you did. You did. That's what I saw.
That's what I meant to say.
That's what I meant to say.
It's
Oh,
the
that's a
cropping.
horrible Photoshop.
What's wrong with your son's face?
what's with the face?
I did the same thing to Tony today. I walked over to Reggie and I was like, hey, is this bruise on his head ever going to go away? And Tony's like, it's a new one, but yeah, okay.
Reggie's still a bit top heavy.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
I love
I
it.
do. I got some one-liners. I don't think same thing.
Are they one-liners though when you don't do them on purpose?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
There you go, everybody. Comedy is not real.
At least mine isn't.
No, it's too real.
Oh, there we go. It's too real.
real.
It's too real.
It's raw comedy.
Not
Raw
cut.
in the moment.
All right, what about other in the news? You said your house is almost done, 2 weeks away.
Yep, should be closing in 2 weeks.
I'm going to be gone and I don't know where I'm going.
Yep, and then
That's fun.
Yeah.
Tony and Jenny can start working on baby number 5.
That'd be
be a
pretty
miracle.
impossible.
Oh, wait.
telling me no.
Did you get fixed?
Both of us did.
Did you get
That's
fixed?
right.
Yeah, you got
Reggie,
right.
You got
Reggie
neutered.
almost,
I had a brain
finds a-
fart.
life finds
Yeah,
a
life
way.
finds a way.
Reggie
got
almost
neutered,
killed
she got
her. If
spaded.
she gets pregnant again, I'm not going to be happy about it.
So,
You know,
Bro, birth
I
is
mean-
scary.
I mean, not to jump ahead, because your baby's only a month old.
She is.
But has the scare of your baby like sealed the deal? Like, are you like, we're good?
It hasn't sealed the deal, but it's definitely not something I'm actively like thinking about.
That's
I'm
something like
we'll see what happens.
with Lucas having even his issues, even as minimal as it was, but knowing how severe face syndrome can be because we've like been around it, we've done lots of research. Honestly, even just knowing that we got lucky with him, we're almost just like, you know what, let's just call it while we're good.
Dude, it's terrifying.
And then your daughter.
I had
comes
a
out.
baby.
Yeah, congratulations.
I had a baby.
But when you had complications,
Shaylee had a baby.
Yeah,
she
Shaylee had
did.
the baby.
He's a
I mean, it might have been
Girl.
might have helped if I had it. The
Yeah.
thing was, she was big.
But when she came out and had issues, immediately we were like, man, I don't know.
Dude,
We might call it good at 3 because I just like I don't want to risk anything, you know?
Yeah. Well, and even thinking back, even with Scarlett, like that was a little more than I was prepared for.
Yeah.
And that wasn't that serious. Like, especially
Well,
comparatively.
What was I mean? It was just a vacuum, right?
Scarlett, yeah, her shoulder got stuck.
Right.
And so she had to use the vacuum to pull her out, and then her shoulder got stuck. So she had shoulder dystocia, which can cause nerve damage, but it didn't. But yeah, so it got tense for a minute, and everyone was a little worried, but then everything almost immediately was fine.
Got you.
Like even by the next day, you couldn't even see that she was vacuumed out.
Gotcha.
So this time around with Layla was not that.
Gotcha. Yeah, give us. I mean, if you don't mind, share what you want.
So I mean, we had a baby. So that's
Had
awesome.
a baby.
Yeah,
It's a
We
girl.
had a baby, and we got there like it was almost just like last time, like leading up. We're hanging out, me, Shaylee, her mom, and just like getting ready. Like baby, I think we induced at like 8 a.m. and baby started coming around noon, and like
Which is good. You held up to your schedule.
right, exactly. We held right up to our schedule,
Yep.
and Shaylee only had to push like 4 or 5 times. And so we're all in there, doctors pulling the baby out. I'm looking over like, hey, look at the baby. And she pulls her out, and she kind of like, she gets the head out, stops for a second. And she's like, okay, hurry and just push again. Even though there wasn't a contraction, the doctor was like, push again. So she pushed, and the doctor pulled the rest of her out. But right away, like, they put her on Shaylee to clean her up. She was very blue and purple and not making any noise. And so the doctors, they take her over to the other side, and I'm just sitting there waiting for that cry, You're like, I want to hear the baby.
Yeah.
I want to hear that things are good. Nothing. She's not making any noise. And I'm just like staring across the room, like there's all the nurses, and then all of a sudden, like, there's like 4 doctors that come in and more nurses, and all this stuff's going on, and the room is tense. I still don't hear the baby. They're talking about her breathing, her lungs, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? And nobody tells you anything.
Of course not.
And you're just over there like, I'm getting all like, I need liquid. My drink's gone. But they're sitting over there and like just staring and like, what the heck is going on? And I'm so locked into just staring over there that I don't even realize that Shaylee was hemorrhaging. So Shaylee was bleeding a ton.
Oh.
Yeah. And I had no clue because I was like locked in this moment of just pure like panic, fear. I don't know. But then also like frozen because there's literally nothing I could do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can't even go across the room to her. I can't talk to her. I can't do anything. Like there's so many people in between and like tables and placentas and all kinds of random stuff. And so almost immediately they put a CPAP machine on her. So she's got this, they're holding a mask onto her face. It's got a big old tube coming out. And
On
I like
Shaylee or Layla?
on Layla.
Okay.
And yeah, because Shaylee is getting like stitched up and
Yeah.
stuff, and her mom's right next to her. And I remember looking over and seeing blood, but not thinking, oh, that's probably too much blood. And it was. She was like, only like 10 milliliters away from possibly having to get a transfusion.
Oh,
But the doctor stitched her up. She was good. And so I'm just watching the baby, listening, trying to read their countenance, their reactions, all their stuff. They end up bringing in this like camera screen thing that's has like it's like a televideo to a dude at Primary Children's Hospital.
Wow.
And he's telling them what to do and what to check, and like immediately they're already pulling blood out, and they have to take and test the blood for gases, off gases, to see how much CO2 is coming out, like all this stuff to figure out what's going on. And they held the CPAP on her the whole time. So just from the second she was born, everything just was just elevating constantly. We finally got to a moment where she was breathing, and so they put her on Shaylee's chest and gave her like a minute of skin to skin, and then the doctor's like, no, we need to get her back on the CPAP because she's not holding it up. So again, they take her away, and then they take her into the like nursery. But the hospital we were at is only like a level 2 as far as like emergency. Like it's mainly a hospital for healthy births and healthy moms and stuff. So they talk about possibly needing to intubate her and like all these things. And luckily at last minute, they didn't do it, and they didn't have to do it. But then they started talking about how we're going to have to lifeline her to the NICU at IMC. So now we're like, what the freak? Like, they're going to have to fly our baby. She just got here. Like everything we hear just like elevates the fear in our minds of what's happening. And, you know, you can't prepare for this. Like I never imagined anything like this was going to happen. So they still have the CPAP on her. They're, you know, hooking her up to IV already, like all this stuff. Well, they end up deciding not to use Lifeline because the winds were too bad, which I kind of think was a blessing, actually. They ended up taking her by ambulance without the lights on. So ambulance came. They had this crazy freaking contraption thing that was like this acrylic box that she would be put in, all these tubes and lights. And the thing with like medical stuff is it always makes you more fearful. Like the way it looks, you're like, this is intense.
Yeah.
Was
There's
it like a
so
barometric chamber or something?
Yeah, almost. Like, because they had to tape the thing onto her face because she was so small, it wouldn't just like really hold itself on. And one thing that I loved seeing, even in the beginning, was she's a fighter. Like right from the beginning, she was grabbing that tube and pulling it out. Like she was literally ripping it off, and they would have to put it back on. Like she's strong little being. And so they get her all ready. They put her in this like gurney that's decked out with all this stuff, and they take her out. Well, I got to go with her, and Shaylee is stuck at the hospital. So she had to stay behind because, you know, she just gave birth. She was bleeding a lot. They need to keep an eye on her. So she ends up staying. I follow the ambulance over to IMC. Luckily, my parents, I was talking to my parents, so they met me there. And then we go in to the NICU. And like already, like when they said NICU, like the many times they did, you're already freaked out because you never hear great stories about the NICU. You know what I mean? Like there are good stories, but whenever you hear NICU, you immediately just think negative connotation. So we get there, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. Like I'm so just like kind of in shock. It's like my emotions don't work, and I'm just like, like what do I do? Like I'm in this crazy dad mode of like I have no idea what's going on. How do I figure this out? Like what am I supposed to do? And so I just like go through a door, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to find my baby. And they're like, you know, where'd she come from? I'm like, she was brought here by the ambulance from Altaview, all this stuff. And they're like, okay, go down here, do this. I'm like, all right. So I go down there, and I get into the NICU. They make you scrub up all the way up to your elbows every time you go in there, and like use like Avogard and all this stuff, like all this sanitation stuff. And we get in there to this room, and I go back and I see like the gurney and like the Red Cross people or Gold Cross. And I go in there, and there's there's a doctor, there's like 3 nurse practitioners, there's like 2 or 3 regular nurses. There's so many people in the room. And I'm clearly just like not knowing what's happening. And everyone's like, they're like, Dad? And I'm like, yeah. Like, okay, come on over here. Go ahead and have a seat. Like, they did really good at helping my deer in headlights face and like getting me to the right spot. And,
Right.
That's how they identified you.
Right? Exactly. They're
Where's the
yeah,
one
it's
that
you.
looks
You're the
lost?
guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. But they did, like, the nurses and everyone there were phenomenal. Like, they really did answer all our questions well. Answered questions we didn't even know we had. Like, right away, the doctor, who was super rad, we only saw her that day, but she was, like, so happy and so bubbly and, like, just super nice. And she's like, hey, like, this is going on. When I walked in, they were, like, testing her. They were, like, lifting her legs up, lifting her arms up, shining lights in her eyes, doing all this stuff. And they were testing her to see if they needed to cool her. So what ended up happening is at some point in all of this, right before birth, during birth, some point, she suffered what they call an HIE event. It's like hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, where somehow, and they don't know how much or how long, there was a short period where not enough oxygen possibly didn't reach her brain. So in fear of that, and based on their test of like how she's moving around, she was kind of limp, they ended up deciding to put her on a cooling pad for 72 hours. So they literally wrapped her in this like blanket that was hooked up to this big old machine with tubes, and all it was doing was circulating cold water. And she was wrapped in it. She had her CPAP on. She had 2 tubes going into her mouth. She had 2 tubes going into her stomach. She had an IV, and then she had all the monitor pieces and like on her feet for blood oxygen, all this stuff. So she's just covered.
Did they put tubes into her stomach? Like
Yeah.
straight
So
into-
so
wow.
they had to put
Right in the belly button. Just-
right through the umbilical cord into the belly button. Yeah. It was a tube that went directly into like her
Probably
one
got
of
to
her
feed
main
her,
veins.
right? Is that to feed her?
No, she had a feeding tube.
Got you.
So she had a feeding tube also, but that one was it went like straight into her veins. So that one I think was mainly her IV, but she also had another one. Like there were so many
Crazy.
tubes. There were so many wires and cables. It was,
Which is a scary sight. in
oh
itself.
yeah. Like you have your newborn baby who newborns already look kind of weird, but when you put a bunch of tubes on them, it's even scarier.
Yeah.
It's like, where do they even go? It's like you're only
Right?
2 feet tall. Like
Yeah. Like that's the thing is like at one point they had to put an IV in her because the IV failed like a couple times. So they ended up putting it in up to like her elbow.
Jeez.
Like granted is only like that long. But
The
it's
vein
like
was collapsing.
but
or
like that's her
something.
whole the IV itself
still
was
the
like
whole
failing.
forearm.
Yeah. And she's again, she would move around a bunch. She pulled her feeding tube out probably like 8 times. But so yeah, I just, on one of the days it should be like the happiest and most beautiful, I have to see my child covered in tubes and wires, hooked up to a giant array of machines, like basically blue and purple again because they're cooling her.
Yeah.
And then them also telling me like what kind of drugs they're going to have to give her, like they're going to have to give her morphine to like keep her comfortable while she's being cooled. But luckily we were actually able to participate in something that let us give her a different drug that's not as like
Not
addictive
opioid.
and like hardcore as
Yeah.
morphine.
Yeah.
And ultimately I do think, again, I think that was another huge blessing to get her that different drug that helped better. But the whole idea behind everything was they apparently use this on near drowning victims. Like when you have an episode of oxygen not getting to your brain, if they cool the body as soon as possible, it kind of puts all of your organs in like almost a stasis, so they don't have to do much. And it gets your brain, because there's not a lot of energy you need, your brain kind of chills out. And it doesn't require as much oxygen, and it kind of allows it to protect itself or whatever.
It's funny, like all of my like natural instincts think so opposite as far as, because with an infant you constantly keep them wrapped up, right? It's like, oh, you need to keep them warm, and it's like here they're purposely keeping her cold.
Yeah.
It just goes against everything.
Yeah, it was wild.
When you were sharing this information with Jess and I, Jess's parents are medical professionals, and so we were bouncing things off of her parents, trying to figure out without pinging you guys what everything was going on. And so when you were sharing that you were chilling Layla for 72 hours, they were like, oh, this is pretty dang serious.
Yeah.
And from what we were able to understand is if that period of time where your daughter may or may not have been receiving oxygen, the coldness, or when they freeze it, it actually has restorative benefits to brain functionality.
Right.
And so whereas your Layla may have been having brain damage, it could have restored or even not necessarily like fixed it, but like
Counteracted.
limited.
Yeah.
it.
She's gonna be a genius now.
Right?
You know what? That makes sense because they say with drowning victims too, the colder the water, the longer you have to get them out.
That makes sense.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're all because they say with drowning,
I've heard that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. So
makes
I mean,
sense.
and I will say, like, a huge part that helped me through all of this was that, like, we were saying a lot of prayers. I actually had one of the doctors, before we transported her to the NICU, he helped me give her a blessing.
That's cool.
And then, like, my dad came down. We gave her another blessing. My brother came out, like, the next day. He gave me and Shaylee a blessing. We gave her a blessing. Like, all of this stuff. And I testified to you guys, like, after all those blessings, all the prayers, like, all of you were praying, all this stuff. As scary as all of this was, looking back, everything from that point on just went upwards. Like, everything she did was great.
Yeah.
Like, every day they're like, wow, she's doing great here. Wow. Like, she was off oxygen. She had oxygen for a while. She was off oxygen, though, by, like, the second day of cooling. Wow. She was off her CPAP, I think, by the end of the second day.
That's amazing.
Right? So the things we were most worried about, her breathing and getting oxygen, she was fixed, like, fine by, like, the second day of cooling.
Yeah.
And then everything just kept getting better and better and better. And it was nice because every day we'd be, like, cautiously optimistic going in. But we'd like call the nurses in the morning before we got down there. We'd get down there and talk to them. And she just kept doing so well. And, like, a lot of the nurses talked so highly of her. And then we'd always every day we'd meet with a nurse practitioner who would tell us, like, what's going on, what they saw through the night, all this different stuff. And when we finally got to, like, warm her up, and another thing that there was so much. Another thing they were scared of in the very beginning, and when you cool a child and you warm them up, there's a risk of seizures. So I forgot, they had a full-on brain, like, scanning stuff on her head
I remember
while
that
she was being
picture.
cooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all those nodes, all that, like out of a movie.
Yeah.
And it was being monitored by someone at Primary Children's.
Crazy.
So they would watch that. So, the first night we're just constantly thinking, like, oh, is she going to be okay? Like, I went home and slept at home. I was by myself at home. Shaylee was in the hospital. The girls were at our in-laws. And, like, I just remember, like, not sleeping well, having weird dreams, but just constantly wondering, like, fearing my phone ringing. Because, the nurses always say, like, hey, we'll call you if anything changes. And I'm like, I don't want to hear from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, just out of pure curiosity, why did you choose to go home?
Purely because I was not functioning well.
Got you.
Like, I was exhausted. I hadn't eaten because I was so, like, I had zero appetite. And I was just at the hospital, like, there's not a place to stay for parents in the NICU.
oh,
They
got
have,
you.
like, a little lounge area where we can sit, kind of, but it's not super comfy. But yeah, there's not a place for us to stay there. So I called Shaylee. I was like, hey, I'll come back. I'll stay with you. And she's like, no, like, if I want you to be rested, like, I would be sleeping on like a hard couch
Yeah,
in the
those
window.
horrible things,
They
yeah.
suck so bad.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, go home and like actually sleep. Like sleep in your bed. Like it'll be quiet. Like try to get as much rest. And that was probably one of the best things I could have done for myself. Like, because I wasn't going to be helping anyone if I was not like coherent while they're spewing all this medical terminology
in
at
that
me.
situation, that's not selfish or anything at all. Like you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I've always heard of how bad the beds are at the hospitals, but for Micah and Paige, the beds in those hospitals were fantastic. And then the same hospital we went to for Lucas, and they had renovated and upgraded and did all these
Even
things.
better.
And the bed was atrocious.
Oh,
Absolutely terrible.
Because they renovated to save money.
Holy cow, dude. I would have been better off sleeping on the hard floor.
Dude,
it was so bad.
I remember the one I slept on with Scarlett. It was almost like a crappy futon. Like it was a chair, but it would fold down, and then you had the two mattresses.
Oh, yeah.
But they met in the middle,
yeah.
Yep.
so you
Yep.
would literally fall between them and like push them aside, and you'd be on metal.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so dumb. I ended up sleeping like in the fetal position in the window.
I was telling him
In the window well? I did that at primary children's when all them.
So bad.
Oh, I
was
thought you were
telling
going to
him-
say you did that growing up.
I was telling them all they needed was one of those like eggshell carton pads to just lay across it. That would have made it night
Right?
and day different. It
Exactly.
was so bad, man.
But it was just weird, the whole experience, because we were there for 2 weeks, and once we got past, like by the 4th day, because they had a ton of tests, like they did on the first day, they did a sonogram, yeah, sonogram. Wait, what's the one where you check your baby and your wife's
Ultrasound.
They did an ultrasound on her brain. And they said that came back fine. There was no anomalies, nothing weird. That's
awesome.
We're like, sweet,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Okay, good test. They did an echocardiogram, and they're like, well, we did see some holes in her heart. And we're like, well, what does that mean? What's that? And then like they kind of acted like it didn't really matter. And then the more people we talked to, they're all like, oh yeah, those are normal for babies. Like it's like our pediatrician put it
still
this way. He
developing.
said it's abnormal in the sense of it doesn't always how
You
do
talk about the
explain it?
PFO?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's like
so the whole that-
it's abnormal, but it's so common
Yeah.
that nobody like
So the
it doesn't
PFO
really mean anything.
Yeah, the PFO will automatically seal when you're born, but occasionally, and this is 1 in every 4 adults, occasionally that hole does not seal.
Yeah.
And that's what Lucas has.
So,
he has an
yeah.
open PFO.
So they said there were like 3 in there or something, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're not worried about it. And we're like, okay.
It just means
Thanks for that info.
It just means that Layla won't be an extreme air fighter pilot.
Oh, dumb. No holding those G's upside down.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that because with my scan, that was the one thing that came back was that I had a enlarged prostate. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. And the doctor's like, it's nothing. And I'm like, what do you mean it's nothing? And he's like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. And
Do
I'm
you
like,
pee normal?
That's where
You're
my
good.
stuff happens.
Well, I'm thinking of prostate cancer.
You're walking around, you're like, yeah, I got a
Yeah, I got a large
What's
prostate.
Up? What's up? What's up?
But
like
it was
a
the
traffic
same
cone.
diagnosis.
Right?
He's like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
And I'm
you're
like, then why mention it?
Don't even tell me. Now I'm self-conscious.
Your prostate showing.
But yeah, as the days went on, more tests and like the results kept coming back really, really good.
Good.
The only one we were really anxious about was at the end of all of it, she was going to get an MRI, and they were going to actually see if there was any damage to her brain. Mm-hmm. So we're super we're all anxious about it, and the day she went down for the MRI, and we were expecting that we would talk to the neurologist and he would give us the results. But we were just sitting there and the nurse was like, oh, let me look up the results. Oh, yeah, it looks fine. We're like, wait, what? That easy? Like, what? What just happened? She's like, she's reading it. She's like, yeah, there's a little blood. And we're like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, that's nothing. And we're like, wait, what? And so,
Talk to me
so
like
like
I'm
we
an
were,
idiot,
we
please.
were like, she's like, no, they'll explain it to you tomorrow. I'm like, what the freak? I'm like, that kind of scares me. Should I be worried? They're like, no, don't worry. And we're like, okay. So next day we talked to the neurologist, and he's like, yeah, we got the MRI back. Everything looks good. Looks like the best results we could have ever hope for. And I was like, what? They said something about blood. And he's like, oh, so there's a little residual blood, but that is because of birth.
Yeah.
Like that is a normal thing that happens to every baby. And I was like, well, what happens now? He's like, it just goes away. We're like, oh, sweet.
Okay.
That's
There you go.
because of the
See,
situation. It was a chaotic situation,
Yeah.
and then after that, every news you got was positive.
Yes, exactly. Like
which is a blessing in
it
itself.
was
yeah.
like seriously, it's like so I feel so blessed throughout this whole thing, especially her. Like she's so strong. She's a little fighter. Like she's gone through so much already and she's kicking butt. Like
That's awesome.
after we talked to him, on the other thing he said, which is kind of funny, he's like, there will be follow-ups we'll have to go to in months and stuff and like other scans, but he basically said like ultimately we don't know the full extent of what possibly could have happened. Like it could show up later on in life when she's in junior high and she struggles with math or she's struggling with English or something, like that could be a result of this. But then he's like, but also it could just be that that's how she was going to be. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
so
there's no way of knowing.
exactly. He's like, she could have just been dumb because, you know? I'm like, what?
Subject.
Like, all right. So just pretend this didn't happen.
It's like, I'm going to delete those words out of my head.
Just
that you
came out of your
said.
face.
Yep. But
Because now you're going to be watching for the anomaly.
exactly. So, and I had that same thought. I was like, I don't want to
That's like that
look at
scene-
everything she does and think, oh, this is this. Oh, this is this. I just want to.
It's like the
like,
scene
no,
in The
she's
Matrix when she says, "Don't worry about the vase." What vase? And he turns and breaks it. It's like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, well, now the thing that'll really blow your mind is, would you have broken it if I hadn't said anything? And
Yep.
so now it's like,
Exactly.
you're going to be thinking of it.
But
Man, that just made me want to watch it again.
I still need to watch those again.
Shoot.
But yeah, like everything was on the up and up. So we were hoping like to get out by day 5, and they kept talking like it would be longer because we were just waiting for more stuff. But around day 5, when she was all warmed up and stuff, is when we started nursing. And she would only nurse for like 5 minutes and then fall asleep.
That drove me nuts.
Right?
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes and then out. We're like, what the heck, kid? And
Wake up.
and they wanted her to be nursing for like at least 10 minutes before they would let us go home. And so ultimately from day 4 on, it was kind of us waiting on her just to build up strength and stuff. And, you know, so every day they're monitoring her. She still had her IV in and stuff. And slowly, all that stuff started getting taken out until she was fully free of everything but the feeding tube. And then finally they were like, well, we want to try to get you guys home, so we're going to teach you how to use the feeding tube. And then set us up with like the machine. It's called a gavage machine, where you put the breast milk in and it pumps it into the tube and stuff and all this crazy stuff. So we had to actually insert the feeding tubes. Not my favorite.
Oh, man.
Not
Does
it's
it go up their nose?
yeah. Yeah, and they scream the whole time. But you have to, you get the tube and you have to like measure from her nostril to her earlobe and then down to her xiphoid process, and that's how long it needs to be. You then have to lube the end of it, or you can get water on it, they said. I was like, lube that thing up. I want the thing to slide right in.
Yeah, like a spaghetti.
Yep, you have to lube it up, and then you like hold their little tiny head, and you push it in, and it should curve down, and then you just push, and they start screaming, and I'm like, how do I know if it's like in the lungs
Yeah.
and not the
Starts
stomach?
coming out her ear. Like,
You right, dude? You have to push it all the way in to the mark, the measurement. You stick a syringe on it and you pull back, and it's supposed to pull up some of the stomach fluid. Yeah, and then you squirt it back in and unscrew it, and you're good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm all fascinated.
To even to further test it, you actually take the stomach fluid and you put it on like this little card thing. It'll tell you its acidity level, so you know it's actually stomach fluid.
What else would it be?
That's fascinating.
Like
Earwax.
and like other fluids inside the body.
Like you went too far?
Maybe.
Weird.
Dude, I don't know. It was kind of freaky though.
Oh,
and the
man,
thing that
alright.
sucks is, like I said, she's a strong little girl, and she likes to pull on things.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime she could get, like, the thing bugged her. So anytime she got her finger in it, dude, she would pull it straight out.
Gosh, good thing
Like, she
it's
just
not a
rip it
catheter.
out. And it's,
So you're like,
She did have
you
one
have
of
to
those
put her
too.
in a straight jacket in order to feed her.
well, no, this is just always, because the tube stays, you tape it to their face. So it's always hanging off her. So that's the nice thing. We didn't have to, like, we only had to put it in when she pulled it out.
Got you.
But Shaylee's fascinated with that stuff, so I only put it in once.
Just to get her
Just so I
home.
could do it. Yeah. And then Shaylee did it the other, like 3 times.
I've done it with barn animals, but that's a whole different ballgame.
Right? You don't
Yeah.
really care as much as they scream.
Well,
Like, shut up.
They're not capable
I'd be worried
of
if they're
screaming.
screaming.
Stop it, what?
On a calf, you actually fill, because you can fill the trachea and then you can fill, what's it called? The esophagus.
Uh-huh.
And you can actually feel it going down.
Yeah.
So you feel it's on the left of the
Weird, dude.
of the
It's just-
trachea.
Gross.
Medical
It's
stuff.
just so freaky. Yeah, like all of it is so freaky and like
That's
it was
crazy.
wild. But like she kind of plateaued though. She wasn't really gaining weight. She was kind of staying, and she was only nursing for like 5 minutes. And sometimes it was really hard to even get her to latch. Like all this stuff. And then, so when they finally decided, like, we'll let you go home with the feeding tube, we'll have a nurse come and kind of talk to you about how feeding. We talked to a dietitian to know how much we need to feed her. I actually made this really cool numbers spreadsheet because we calculated that about 5 minutes of nursing is about 29 milliliters of milk, and she needed to have at the beginning 73 milliliters per feed, and she fed every 3 hours starting at 8 a.m. So basically, I had this whole spreadsheet worked out where I would type in how many minutes Shaylee breastfed. It would tell me how much milk is left that I needed to feed her through the bag.
Dude, I just got an image. Like you just,
Bro.
she's breastfeeding and then she pulls away and you go grab the tube. She's all,
Bro, I seriously, like, I made this thing so fast, and I was on
finish
top
your
of
dinner, honey.
it. I was like, this
Finish your dinner, you get the tube.
Yep, tube's coming. That was my part, dude. I was in charge of the tube, the bag, all that. I was
Yeah.
killing it. I felt useful. It was great. But as soon as we got her home, like that day, because we brought her home like in the afternoon, that day, she already started nursing longer.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
Like she straight up just did not want to be in the NICU.
Yeah.
She's like, this place sucks. And they poke me, they prod me, they stick tubes in me. We got home, and then every day since she's been home, she's increased how long she eats. Now she eats an average of like 15, 20 minutes.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
How's her
So-
weight doing?
Her weight's going up. So we went
yeah.
to the pediatrician. We had to go like 3 weeks in a row. Because he saw that, and he was just like, I just want to make sure. So come back each week, and we'll weigh her and stuff.
Yeah.
And what he thinks happened was because she went through all this crazy stuff, she was immediately put on IV fluids. Whereas when you're a baby, babies, when they're born, they drop weight,
Yeah.
and then they feed and they thrive, and
They
they start to
regain.
gain that weight back. Because she was on fluids immediately, he thinks she dropped weight, but she kept a kind of a water weight. So she, on paper, she stayed the same until we got home. She got off IV and got home. Then she was losing her water weight and gaining her weight from
So it was
feeding.
like that
Yeah.
initial birth weight that she lost.
Yeah, she
came
never
after that.
never
Yeah.
lost the birth
Right.
weight. She just stayed kind of the same, and then now she's going back up.
Awesome.
So now we are in a great place. Like she's doing fantastic. She got a little bit of baby acne, but other than that, like the pediatrician is like she's like, I'm impressed by how strong she is.
Awesome.
She's holding her head up really well. She's moving. She's alert. She's awake. She follows your voice. Does all the normal baby things that we wanted. But
Yeah.
yeah, like we're in a really good spot. Like she's doing great. Like I said, her tube came out. The tube was supposed to stay in for like a month, but she pulled it out like a week ago. But she's been constantly breastfeeding more than needed, so we never put it back in. And the
Nice.
nurse said we didn't have to.
Good.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So she's tubeless. She's just a normal little cutie.
Good.
Awesome.
How awesome.
But whew, that was 2 weeks that was just a wild
Hell.
2 weeks. Holy cow. Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, again, the nurses and doctors were really awesome. I saw Lisa's
Wait till
brother.
you start getting those medical bills.
Yeah, dude.
Luckily, though, it should all be
Dude,
covered, right?
I've gotten a few of them, and I'm very pleasantly surprised and happy about how low the amount is.
That's good.
Wait till you get that MRI
a lot.
bill.
Dude, I don't want to know. Stop
it off.
That's the thing. I haven't got the freaking ambulance one. I know I'm going to be mad about probably just the NICU stuff. Like
The
all the birth
EKG,
stuff.
yeah.
All the birth stuff is freaking.
But that should all be covered by your health insurance, right? So,
But you never know. I don't freaking understand with health insurance. Sometimes they find a way to get.
I
you.
understand it now. A lot of life lessons learned there.
Right. But yeah, baby's good. You can see her on the vlog if you want to. But
yeah.
she's doing great.
Good.
Yeah, we need to
Nice.
make it over and see her.
Yeah, you guys need
Yeah.
to come meet your little babies.
Well, obviously, we wanted to give you time to, like,
Oh yeah, no, you guys have been
Chill.
great. Like,
Not me. I wanted to see her day
Like-
one, but you wouldn't let me.
Dude, I made
that's
you
'cause that
ribs.
was huge.
I made you ribs just so I could come see the
Yeah,
baby.
that's right. He made me ribs. But no, again, like,
Well, at least.
I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate and how much I needed that support from you guys in that moment.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it just reaffirms to me that like I have the best friends in the world.
Yeah.
Like you guys
Yeah,
are
you
incredible. Like I love each and every one of you. And like I seriously, every time we would get an update, I'd be like, hey, you tell your family, I'll tell my mom, let's tell my friends. Like every single time I was like, it was family and you guys all at the same time before anyone else.
We love you, man.
yeah,
I love
we
you
do.
guys.
Yeah.
We love you so
Thank
much,
you
man.
for all your support.
Yeah,
Anytime.
Couldn't have done it without you guys.
Anytime.
I love you.
absolutely. Love you too, man.
Heck yeah.
We didn't know the whole situation with the kids, but we were like, gosh, should we like see if they need to come stay here while you go stay down with Shaylee? Like we didn't really know, but we also didn't want to like press.
Yeah.
It
No,
was just
that-
like a
yeah.
weird.
We luckily,
Right.
like her mom, between her mom and my mom, like they were fine. The thing that like really broke my heart actually is like a week after, after the 5th day, we just FaceTimed the girls. They were at Shaylee's mom's house just to say goodnight. And when we came on and Scarlett saw, she just started crying and she's like, I want to go home.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, baby. I was like, I want you to be here so bad. And the thing that sucked was, one, she was too young to go into the NICU, so she couldn't go in. And Kaylee couldn't go in because she didn't have the COVID vaccine.
Really?
Yes.
They're
That's
still on
still a
that?
thing.
Yes. You have literally to bring Kaylee in or any children, they have to be over 5 and yours. Like no one under 18 that's not your actual child. And they have to prove records of vaccination. So
What
not
about
only
you?
COVID, not us, we didn't have to do anything.
Really? Just
Yeah.
the kids?
The kids, our
Jeez.
children, her sisters, we had to prove that they were vaccinated, including the COVID vaccine. Like we had to like upload paperwork.
Wow.
So the girls didn't get to see her at all while she was in the NICU.
Dang.
Wow.
So, but then yeah, Scarlett was having a hard time. Like from that day on, we'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna take you to Mimi's," and she's like, "Are you coming with me?" And we're like, "No, you gotta go." And she would just break down. Like So that's why I ended up staying home with Scarlett and Kaylee, and Shaylee would then for the second week, Shaylee was going every day, and I was staying at home with the girls because she missed us so much.
How are they loving their baby sister?
They love her.
Yeah.
Scarlett loves to run over and put the binky back in. She's crying. Go put the binky in. She's like, I got it.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
I know for Micah, she immediately just has that caretaker mentality. So she just like she has loved and held that baby more than I have since he's been born. She's just obsessed. Paige, it took a while. And we kind of figured that because she's more of the like physical, like I
Yeah.
want to play with you.
Yeah.
And where he couldn't do much, she was just like, I'm bored. But now that he's actually able to like move and like do things and grab things, she loves it. It's fun to
Yep.
watch. It's really fun to
It's
watch.
so awesome.
Yeah. So I would imagine they're like kind of in the same boat.
Scarlett does like to hold her. She like day one, she was like, I want to hold her. Like she was just yelling the whole time. She's like, I want to hold her. So we just put her in the corner, surround her by pillows,
Yep.
and put the baby on her.
That's fun.
And she just loved it.
That's so good, man.
It's good. Things are good.
Gosh, man. I'm just happy it's over
For real, dude.
for you. I was
Yeah.
stressing.
Real.
I was stressing so
Oh my
bad for you
gosh.
guys.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah.
When we heard that, there was possible of like brain damage and stuff, I was just
Right.
like, oh my gosh, man. I just don't even. It was hard to process for us. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
So, but good.
Yeah. I
news.
think we took a little dip, but now we're right to where we should be. So
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I was gonna say we should jump into other in the news stuff, but I feel like that was
our news was way better.
your news is way
Yeah.
better, man.
Yep.
All of ours.
Way better. So
Fantastic.
yeah, I think that's where we're gonna call it. This has been long. This has been a long podcast, I would imagine. I don't know.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Not that long, actually. Like kind of our average.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
good.
tune in next week. Next week we have a special being hosted by Zachary.
Oh,
Yours
boy.
truly.
I'm
We don't
excited.
even know
Excited.
what it is, but it's probably going to be
Parental.
upsetting. So, thanks so much for tuning
Spoiler
in.
alert, it's actually not.
Oh,
So
Which?
it's not upsetting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's parental?
No.
Oh.
We'll make it.
So neither. Yeah.
Oh, all
Spoiler
right.
alert.
Okay,
All right.
all
It's
right.
just going to be fun.
This is
All
going to be a
right.
fun one. It's going to, yeah. Anyways.
Hashtag on this one, we'll say blessings.
Hashtag
like it.
blessing.
Hashtag
Lessons.
blessings. They work, my friends.
Give Cam
they
all the
freaking
love.
work.
Yeah, they do.
Holy cow. I have a very large testimony. I already did before, but even more so now. Like, they freaking work.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys here next time.
Love you guys.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Dirty.
Ciao.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.